Hello magical humans, and welcome to this embodiment magic video tutorial. I'm Maxolasta McIntyre Etheridge, founder and Bodywork of Full and Plenty Joy, a space for witchy rebels to live outside of convention and recover their authentic magic rooted in the liberation of all. Today, we will be learning a 3-in-1 Breema technique to resource your whole self, mind, body, and spirit as we descend further into the dark half of the year. Breema is a simple somatic touch approach that is rooted in understanding yourself through the body. They have a variety of techniques of both self-touch and with partners, and their center is located in Berkeley, California on Ohlone land. The 3-in-1 technique we're going to be learning today is a self-touch technique that I find really supportive of relieving like static energy throughout my body, tiredness in my eyes, and overall just sort of refilling my wellness cup and bringing energy, but a rooted energy back into my whole system. This technique was introduced to me during my time as a somatic psychology student at the California Institute of Integral Studies, aka Hogwarts School for Witchcraft and Wizardry, with one of my professors, Carrie Gray. She would take us through these exercises at least once, usually like 2-3 times throughout class, because a huge part of healing work and being in an authentic magic, being in ourself, is having access to a regulated nervous system. And so that's a lot of what these practices are for. A few quick tips just before we start, or guidelines, things to keep in mind or to learn as you go. One, everybody is unique. So the practices that I share with you, really see if you can feel into the ways in which maybe something doesn't quite work for you, or you want to maybe not touch that part of your body. Maybe it's actually a little too activating. If you notice that happening, what you can do instead of physically touching your body is you can go on the outside and really feel your energetic body as you self-touch. That's totally okay. Another thing is to go slow. This whole practice is really about slowing ourselves down. So when we slow our typically activated nervous systems, because hello, the world, our prefrontal cortex isn't online, or it's not at its most thriving functioning, and that's important if we're trying to do our passion projects, or we're trying to maybe have a difficult conversation with a friend or a loved one. We need our brains to serve those purposes. And if our brain is activated and worried or overwhelmed or like numbed out and like hanging out somewhere else, then we're not going to be able to be in our authentic self and our authentic magic. So going slow to bring us back into the body, into the heart space, and have the mind serve that is what we're up to today. You'll also want to practice witnessing yourself in your experience, noticing what is happening in your body, in your mind as you're going through it. This is a self-awareness building practice, not only just so you can cater the exercise to yourself, but also so you can understand yourself through the movement through the body, such as the purpose of Breema. And the last thing is to just view it as an experiment, especially if this is your first time ever doing these particular Breema techniques, really allowing your openness and that non-judgmental mindset to just notice what's here and view it as an experiment. At the end of the practice, I'll invite you to just take a moment to be in stillness, be in pause, and kind of track through your body. What do you notice? How has this practice impacted you? We don't even necessarily have to label it in a, positive, negative, good or bad binary way, but just noticing, wow, what was that like? Okay, so we're going to learn 3 different techniques, all self-touch. You can do them in any order. You can do one of them, you can do all of them, you can repeat them multiple times. Whatever you want to do, whatever your intuition is telling you is supportive to what you're needing in that moment to resource yourself. Resourcing meaning drawing in our energy, drawing back our magic, essentially, so that we can move forward or remain in stillness, whatever spirit is really asking of us in that moment. Cool. So first one, we're going to use our hands and our faces. You can rub other parts of your body too, if maybe hands aren't accessible to you. Maybe that's feet on the ground, maybe that's elbows in the side, whatever. But we're going to rub two parts of our body together. If you can, use your hands. And I'm going to take off my glasses and my hat, but you do not need to do that. You can still receive the benefits and just kind of work around it. Cool. Let's just follow along with me. And again, notice what's happening. Rub your hands together. Rub, 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 rub. Until you get to a temperature that feels right to you. And then let your palms place over your eyes and your head hang in your hands. And just take in the warmth of your hands through your eye sockets. Let any sighs or exhales happen as they want to. Any yawns, let them be free. Take an inhale, bring your hands over the top of your head, down the back of your neck, and around the jawline as you exhale. And do this 2 more times. Rub the hands, get them to the temperature that feels good to you. And let your head hang in your hands when you're ready. Letting out the sighs, taking in the support. Taking an inhale, bringing your hands over the top of the head, down the back of the neck, and around the jaw as you exhale. And one more. And let your head hang in your hands when you're ready, and really let in the support, the magic, the warmth, in through the eyes, down through the optical nerve, into the head, to the spine, all the way through your body. When you're ready, take an inhale. Hands over the top of the head, down the back of the neck, around the jawline. And this time, take one more inhale, and then blow. I like to shake it off often. But right now, notice, is there any other gestures that your body wants to do right now? Or allow yourself to be in stillness and just notice, how has this practice impacted me? I'm gonna take my glasses and my hat back. So this next one is using self-touch and breath over the arms. Excuse me. So take an inhale, bring one of your hands up to your shoulder. Again, if this part of your body doesn't feel accessible to you, you could play with placing it down maybe like the right side of your hip and brushing away like that, or maybe even just like brushing part of your hand The main technique we're thinking about here is going from an up place somewhere on our body, or again, even around the body, and bringing it down. Up and down. That's really the rhythm that we're going for with this second one. So inhaling the hand up to the shoulder. And exhaling, gently watching the hand go down your arm. Nice and slow and easy. Until your fingertips meet each other. Let those big yawns happen. Other side. Watching the hand go down if you can. No stress if not. Right to the fingertips. 2 more each side. Follow your own pace with the up, down, slow, intentional, present rhythm. Starting the last one when you're ready. And when you're done, let your body remain in stillness and just notice, how has this practice impacted you? How has your system shifted, if at all? I definitely feel a more grounded energy in my voice. Slight kind of tree swaying in my body, but my feet deeply rooted to the earth. And as we transition to the last technique, just a little thing about yawning. So we've been culturally conditioned to restrict our yawns. No, that's super ableist, colonialist thinking. Yawning is really important self-regulating expression of the body. And when we yawn, we may be discharging this built-up energy, right? We're usually operating in some kind of chronically activated state. So much going on that can discharge when we get to yawn. So we want to get that energy out of our body so we can come back into our window of tolerance. Or perhaps maybe we're really, really low. We're in this really more like hypo state, and our body's trying to bring in more air to us so we can wake up, so we can revitalize. So those are all really beautiful natural expressions of the body that we don't need to restrict or feel shame or guilt about having. They help us actually be present, even though people get shamed thinking that they're not being present, but literally their body's trying to get them present. So super fucked. Anyways, last technique is going to be focused on the legs. Same thing, if for whatever reason you don't feel comfortable touching those parts of your body, just go on the outside. If for some reason the legs aren't accessible to you, you can do the same technique on the upper half of the body. Again, this time we're going a down and an up rhythm instead of an up and a down. So down and an up rhythm. I'm going to shift my camera so it can be focused on my legs. Okay, so third technique, legs. We're going to down up fashion. Notice what it's like for you. Go slow, be kind to yourself. Starting with palms open, placing them on the lower back. Right here is where your adrenal glands are, which is basically the part of your body that is sending out all of those toxic stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline when your fight or flight freeze system gets activated, either from something outside of yourself or maybe having a thought or a flashback to a traumatic experience. So placing the hands really gently back of the adrenals. I'm gonna face to the side so you can see better. And then slight bend in your knees. Gently let your hands brush down as you inhale down the back of the legs. As far as is accessible to you, as feels comfortable to you. Inhaling, bringing the hands to the front of the legs now and coming back up. And bringing them back again and down. Nice and small. And back up. When yawns happen. Down once more. This time, if it's accessible to you, lovingly bring your hands over the belly, over the chest, around the back of the neck, around the top of the head, around the face, and again, let's blow away. Wonderful. Thank you for joining me for this sacred moment of resourcing ourselves, mind, body, and spirit. Again, my name is Max Celesta McIntyre Etheridge. So grateful that you joined us today in the Full and Plenty Joy community. If you'd like more free and simple somatic resourcing techniques, click on the link in the description for 9 embodiment magic practices to relieve overwhelm, restore energy, and get you back on track in under 10 minutes. Thanks again. Have a wonderfully magical day. Bye.